Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Marcus and welcome back to the Safe Space 2.0. I am back here just to give y'all a quick story time video. Well, I'm gonna try to make it quick. Those of y'all who was following my other channel, y'all know sometimes I have a tendency to ramble and I'm recording in the car, so y'all know I get distracted easily. But anyway, so this is the story time. Well, before I get into that, I hope that you all are having a great week. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, today is when I get confused because I used to work on Wednesdays, but lately I've been off on Wednesdays, so my days kind of get. But anyway, happy Wednesday to everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody has had an amazing week. My apologies for my absence. I do have some other things I'm working on right now, or that'll be coming up, some more videos and things like that. But I wanted to come over here and give y'all this quick video about the time me and my sister and her friends got caught stealing at Walmart. So before I get into that story, I got to give y'all some backstory so y'all will understand how we got to this point. So back in the day, this was about maybe 15 years ago, give or take a year or two. My mom was working at the hospital and she worked overnight, so she would go in from 11 from 11 to 7. And so me and my sister, I'm trying to figure out why she was even up that late, because she was only in middle school. But anyway, so me and my sister I would drive my mom to work, and sometimes my sister would ride with me. Now, she's not as bad as she used to be, but she had a real like sweet tooth. Like, she would keep candy on her. But she also had a problem with stealing. So she used to carry these pocketbooks around, them big old pocketbooks. I don't even know if women still really would carry them like that, but them big pocketbooks that was like the same size as a diaper bag, she used to love to carry them types of purses. And this was also like around the time when our family was still was like heavier in the church. And so a lot of the older women in church, a lot of times they would, like, when they would have, like, they would just give her a purse or give her some purses. So she had like 20 purses. But anyway, so that would be what she would use to put the candy in when we would go to the store. And it was funny because we always would use the same excuse every time. We got to stop at Walmart so she can get a poster board because she has to work on a project. And in retrospect, when I think back at that, it's just like, girl, you was only in middle school. You ain't had that many projects you had to work on that you needed a poster board every time. But that would be the excuse that she would give to my mom, because we would stop there after we dropped her off. Because I'm trying to remember. Because I'm trying to remember what was the purpose of, I think, because I feel like my mom used to tell me to text her when we got back to the house. I feel like, because I'm trying to remember what would be the purpose of her even telling my mom that we had to stop at Walmart. I think that's what it was. She would tell us, because it was, you know, later at night, she would tell us to text her when we got back to the house. But anyway, so that would be the excuse that we would use. I told y'all I was gonna be rambling. That would be the excuse that she would give to go in the store and steal. But it was also interesting because I would never steal anything. I would just go around the store and take what I wanted and put it in her pocket. But like when I think back on it, that's kind of how we would get caught, because sometimes we would go to the store like night after night. It wasn't like we went to the store this one night and then we went to the store another night. Sometimes it would be like every night we go into Walmart, stay in there about 10-15 minutes, and only walk out with a poster board. And, you know, people pay, and especially, you know, with us being black kids, and it was late at night. Of course, eyeballs are gonna be on us when we walk in the store. So fast forward, we were going to Walmart. Now this time we went, it was during the day, like maybe like early afternoon, or early evening, excuse me. We went to Walmart for something. I don't even remember what we went there for. But anyway, we go in there. I took some because I had like a drawstring. You remember? I don't know if y'all remember back in the day when high schools, when people would go to gym class, they all had them drawstring bags. I had one. I don't remember what I stole, but it was like, when you think back, it's like, girl, because it was stupid, because I had the money to pay for it. I just didn't want to have to spend the money, so I had it in my drawstring bag. No, it was something in my drawstring bag, and it was something that I put in my pocket, because I remember when we got caught, he told me to empty my pockets, but he didn't never say anything about what was in my bag. But anyway, so we walking out the store, and it was a guy there. He had to have been undercover, because he was like dressed in like regular attire. Like, he didn't have on like like the security uniform or whatever. It was him, and then I think it was another guy who was security, but he was in uniform. And they took us back in the office. So it was me, my sister's friend, who was staying with us for the weekend, or might have been for the week. And then it was another girl. It was a younger girl that used to hang around my sister. She was with us as well. She was only like 7 or 8 at the time. So they had us to get on the phone and call our parents. I know my sister's friend, I think she called her mom first. And then the younger girl, I think we called her mom and she didn't answer, because her mom was at work, which is the reason why she was with my sister. And then, but what was so crazy was I ended up calling my grandma instead. I ended up calling my grandma, and I was just like, girl, this is what happened. And it was interesting, because I don't even remember her ever saying like, well, why you didn't try to call your mom, or why you didn't try to call. But she ended up calling them, because she called my mom, but she ended up but my stepdad and my stepbrother ended up coming. And I knew it was them, because when they got there, I could hear his voice talking. And I was just sitting there like, girl, like, what is going on? Which, I mean, when you think about it, it wouldn't have made no difference if she had came or if he had came. Like, if we was gonna get got, we was gonna get got regardless. It don't matter who came to pick us up. And it was so funny, because my sister's friend, she was scared. She was just like, oh my God, like, the next time y'all see me, y'all not even gonna recognize me, because she just knew that she was gonna get it when she got home. Girl, tell me why when we talked to her a couple days later, she didn't even get in trouble. I think she might have got put on punishment or something. Well, no, I don't think that. Well, no, that wasn't it, because how she wouldn't have been able to. I don't even think she even got in trouble when she got home and she was doing all that. But yeah, so her mom ended up coming to get her. Because I guess, I don't know if she went to Walmart. I think she did end up going to Walmart, because I think she thought that her daughter was still at Walmart. I don't think it was ever communicated to her that she came back home with us. So, but she did say that the guy said that they wasn't gonna press charges or whatever, but we were banned from, we couldn't come back in there. Which is funny, because I've been back in that store like years later. And I still look the same. So, is that a gray in my mustache? Hold on, y'all. Oh no, I think that was just the way the light is reflecting. Oh no, it's still there. But anyway, because I found grays in other areas. That's why I was like, oh my God, what's going on? But so yeah, she told us that they said that they wasn't gonna press charges, but we couldn't come back in there no more. So we had, yeah, like I said, but I've been. So anyway, because I thought that it was one of them type of places where like they got your picture hanging up somewhere, but at the same time, like Walmart be so packed sometimes. Would you even be able to pick them out if they walked in the store? But anyway, so to make a long story short, me and my sister both got jumped on when we got to the house. And it was funny because like maybe 2 days prior to that, my brother had just got in trouble because it was a lady who lived on our apartment row. Y'all know how like it'd be multiple apartments on one. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So she lived like 2 doors down from us, and she sold candy out her house. And my brother had stole some candy out her house, and he had just got like 2 days prior. And so my dad was like, girl, like, now y'all know y'all brother just got stomped out the other day because of stealing, and then y'all gonna turn around and do this. So we did go home. Like I said, we both went home and got jumped on or whatever. And it was funny because this was either a Tuesday or a Thursday. I don't remember exactly, but we had church that night. And it was funny because it was funny because when we got to the church, the pastor, like he was outside like when we got there. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he had just got there himself or if he was coming outside. So I can't remember. But anyway, I remember like he was standing there and we was talking about something, and then he looked at my sister and said, "I'm sorry." So the pastor was standing. So the pastor was standing outside talking to us, and he looks at my sister and says, "You look like you just got a whooping." And if there's anybody watching this video that knows me and that knows the church that I used to go to, he would know what a child looked like after they just got a whooping, because the way they used to tell their kids yeah, they kids used to get it real bad. Well, like where the older ones, they used to get got. The younger ones, they be a little bit more lenient on them. But that older set, I don't even have enough fingers and toes to tell you the number of times I done seen one of them get slapped in the middle of church service. But anyway, so yeah, the pastor tells my sister, says, "You look like you just got a whooping." I don't think they ever told him exactly what happened, but they did kind of confirm without saying it that yeah, she had just got a whooping. But yeah, y'all, that was the last time we had stole out of there, cause yeah, after that I was just like, and it was interesting because my mom was the one that got me when we got to the house. I was expecting my dad to do it, but my mom actually was the one that did it. And that's how I knew she was like, girl, like, what you got going on? Because once he came into the picture, I didn't really get a lot of whoopings like that anyway, but once he came into the picture, he kind of took over the disciplinary part. So the fact that she was the one that was like, she was like, I got this. She meant business. But my sister had been doing that for a long. I remember this one time, another neighborhood we lived in, and this was actually my brother's fault, the reason why they got caught. This was another one of those areas where people knew us because they knew who our dad was, because he lived a life. So a lot of people knew us through him. So my sister and my brother goes into this store, and they steal. I feel like this might have been the first time my brother stole, because he was too excited. Now I'm relaying the story that was told. I think my sister told me, because she was mad that they had got in trouble because of him. So they walk out the store, and he all like excited. He walk out the store, I stole. And somebody around there who knew them because of who my dad was, they came to the house and told my mom. Baby, when I tell you, my mama, girl, she told him up in that back room. Listen. But anyway, so yeah. But yeah, that was it for me. I feel like my sister might have kept doing it a little bit longer. I don't remember, but I know that I was just like, girl, yeah, it ain't that serious. Because I don't remember my exact age, but I do know that I was old enough to, if they wanted to, they could have pressed charges and I would have went to jail. And when you look when you look at it from the perspective of what I stole, or what I got caught stealing, I should say, because like I said, I had something in my drawstring bag as well. But from the perspective of what I stole, was it going to jail? It didn't line up. Like, there's sometimes you might steal something and it's like, okay, well, that was a lot of money, so I kind of see. But like, you go to jail for stealing, like for this, it's just like what they would call it, petty theft, I guess. Yeah, going to jail really wouldn't have been worth what I got caught stealing. But anyway, that's story time of the time me and my sister got caught stealing at Walmart. I remember this time I was at Walmart. I was sitting in the car and I was parked towards the same Walmart. This was before we got caught stealing, I think. Or it could have been after, because I remember I was sitting in the car and somebody else had went into the store, and this dude come running out the garden section. He come running out with a TV. Now, the way this Walmart was set up, when you come out the Walmart, there's a hill that you go up, like a wooded hill, and then behind it is a Pep Boys. And so once he came out that door and ran up the hill, he was gone. But it was interesting though, because I didn't see no employee or nobody. They just was like, girl, look, he out the door now. Because a lot of the places, they tell you that, like, once they out the door, just let it be, because you don't know what's waiting out there when you try to go out there and chase them. If you want to, you mess around and lose your life, and they'll replace somebody before they even have time to plan your funeral. But anyway, I'm like I told y'all, I'll be rambling. But anyway, that's the story of the time me and my sister got caught stealing at Walmart. Please leave your comments down below. As always, I am taking video suggestions and video topics. Because I want this to be a rounded channel. I don't want it to just be one thing. So any suggestions or any topics, or if you have a question about something that you may want me to do a video on, you can leave it in the comment section. As always, be sure to give this a thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications so that you'll be notified whenever I post content to this channel. Also, be sure to share this video on whatever platforms you'd like to share content, and I will talk to y'all later.